Santonio, what was your reaction with the Tebow acquisition and whatnot? What was your initial reaction to that, and how do you feel about him being aboard?
I was surprised because it was a trade that happened for him. He was a second-year guy, first-round draft pick, and to just get traded from the Broncos, was definitely a surprise for him, himself, and the whole NFL. But from my take, bringing him aboard, I think he's going to do some great things for our team this year. He's going to be the guy that we can depend on when situations come about. And when he gets on the field, he's going to prove that he's a playmaker and he's willing to help his team win by any means.
Antonio, when the season ended, right at the Miami game, how would you describe the relationship with Sanchez at that point?
I don't even remember how long ago was that?
3.5 months.
Yeah, that was too long ago. Right now, we're focusing on our new offensive system that we have put in place right now, and we're putting all that stuff behind us.
We haven't had a chance to talk to you, so that's why this question is coming up now, and I think it's relevant. So, how would you say your relationship has evolved from that point to now?
He's still here as our starting quarterback, and I'm still here as our starting wide receiver. So I think our relationship has to evolve around that.
Antonio, this is Kimberly Jones from the NFL Network. Was there a time since the end of last season that you wondered if you would still be here as a Jet?
Nope.
Why were you so confident you'd be back, Antonio?
I signed a 5-year contract.
Antonio, have you spoken to today or even in the past few months, have you reached out to other players, specifically members of the offensive line?
I had no reason to.
You had no reason to reach out to the guys in the offensive line?
I didn't reach out to anybody this offseason, for that matter.
Well, there was a report that in the last season you got into a shouting match with Wayne Hunter. Have you talked to Wayne?
Who reported that?
I think ESPN New York.
I really have nothing to say about that.
What about, Santonio, just from a production standpoint, last year for you statistically it was one of your lowest years in terms of catches and yards. What do you expect in terms of a bounce back this year?
I got to get myself in the lab and be ready to go whenever my number's being called. I got to be a proven guy, from a year ago that I can make the necessary plays when the ball's being thrown and just have a little fun with these guys this season and learn to accept everything that comes. That happens for a reason.
Antonio, how do you feel about Rex no longer having team captains after he had, 4 or 5 guys last year, including yourself as a captain?
For that mindset and that matter, it's to each his own, because we're all professional athletes. Whether he names someone a captain or he don't, we all should feel like we're a part of a captaincy by being the top guy on this team. And if anybody, should feel like that, myself, Brandon Moore, Darrelle Revis, Mark Sanchez, we're all going to still feel like we're that guy. So regardless of him not having a seat putting on our chest, we're still going to be the vocal leaders for this team.
Santonio, I think, I know this is another thing you'll probably say was a long time ago, but we didn't have the chance to ask you, after the season finale, some teammates said, you quit in that game and had also kind of checked out for a few weeks before that. What was your response to those comments?
That happened in 2011, 2012 season. So I'm going to give you the same answer I gave them. That happened in the past. We're not looking forward to any of that. We don't have anything to talk about. We don't have anything to say on that subject. We're worried about the 2012 New York Jets football season. And if you're not concerned with that, we don't have anything else to talk about.
Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post. I'm just wondering, in relation to that, do you feel like you're a better teammate now in 2012 than you were last year?
I feel like I've been a better teammate to be a part of the NFL for 7 years. Regardless of the things that you guys report and the way you say it and the way you portray it, it doesn't matter. When I step on the football field, I come to work every day. I show up every day to work, and I expect to be worked every day. And if it doesn't portray in that matter, I take the blame for myself.
Do you have any regrets about last season, the way it ended?
Yeah, we didn't make the playoffs.
Do you have any regrets with how you personally handled the situation down the stretch?
Why should I? I gave my statement after the game was over with, and that was that. I left it at that. That's why you guys didn't have anything to talk about this off season. You didn't have anything to say to Santonio Holmes because I answered the questions correctly, and I left it where it was at. It happened down in Miami, and that's where it's going to stay at, down in Miami.